Okay, so this is another day. I'm on my main desktop. Although the Intel has about the same amount of RAM, but the processor is a lot more faster. But it does handle 8 threads, so it's 4 cores. Um, Even with quick CPU, it's running pretty well. But one thing we're all overlooking about Windows 11, and the same thing went with Windows 10 and 7 and 8. Well, I didn't really use too much 8 because it was not that great. We need to, this program right here is a gem. But you have to tell it, I already gave it an exclusion not to turn it off. This one here. This one here, I have to let it run. Um, I guess I could run it. Just have to give it an exclusion, so it won't shut it down. Um, Exclude that one as well. Then it shouldn't show. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then also exclude this one as well. Then it should be able to run it without it shutting it down. Let's see if it'll work. Oh, okay, it worked. So think of this as a virtual cleaner of the RAM. So that's your physical RAM, your hard RAM, right? Your sticks that you got in there, they got, doesn't get released. That's one thing that we all have the same problem. It doesn't matter if you're running Linux, Android, Chrome OS, Apple, Apple OS, iMac, whatever it is. Unless you physically close out those apps in iOS, unless you go into uh, Chrome or even Android and close out those apps and clean out the RAM, clean out the virtual, get rid of stuff they're not using, you know, then to regain all these programs and all these OSs all suffer from the same thing. They suffer from getting bogged down with fragmentation, and it doesn't go away. You either have it automatically clean. Well, this is just freeing up the RAM on the other machine, the Intel. Holy cow! Boy, oh boy, it free up like 3 gig of RAM. It uses more RAM. Well, it will use more RAM because there's more RAM in the system for it to use. Because that's how the operating system works. You can have as much RAM as you want. When that RAM fills up, it's gonna swap. Now you can some people back in the day, a lot of guys say, hey, turn off the swapping, the virtual RAM. You don't need it. Yeah, but we did that, and guess what happened? Ran out of memory. There has to be a balance. That's the way they wrote the code, unless it changed it. But they haven't changed it. They haven't really done anything. I said the GUI looks nice. A lot of people complain that the CPU is running higher. Yeah, today I removed the Edge, forced it out of the system, get it out of the system. There's no more Edge browser. I'm glad it's gone because it was annoying. Every time I open up something, it always want to open up the Edge and the Bing and all that stuff. I don't need it, Microsoft. I don't need it. I don't need it. I mean, you used to have front page 98, and that browser. Well, that was more of a GUI to create web pages and stuff like that. Um, and then Microsoft came out with Explorer. First, it was Netscape was based on Mozilla platform. But that browser used to crash like crazy. I don't know. A lot of people are talking about all sorts of things, uh, tech wise. You know, because if you don't like Windows 11 and you think you go back to Windows 10, it's a big mistake. I was glad when 10 was gone because there was a lot of problem with 10. It would never um, anticipate the RAM you had in the system. It never anticipate what kind of processor you have. I mean, it was very limited. I'll tell you one thing on the Intel, this thing load up 1, 2, 3. It loads up 1, 2, 3. Of course, if I clean out the, I just finished playing a game, so I guess I'll have to clear it out. But still, this page loads up 1, 2, 3. Boom, it's up. Oh yeah, I allow the games that I was playing to pop up here now, so it'll pop up more. Well, the tank game, oh my goodness, it runs faster on the Intel. And, well, then again, I can actually do a caption without the graphics, but that's running on the die and the chip. It's not running a graphics card. But eventually those graphics cards they will burn out after you use them so heavily. I used to have them, but they're still running a 32, 64-bit process, 64-bit bus. So I think it's 64. You have to have 64 as a minimum in those. Um, and you just don't want to buy the 64 only. It'd be really, really slow. So this site is both gaming and tech. Everything is on this thing here. I used to have the gaming separate, but and this one here, this one here came off the Intel. I was testing out and see it was. I had to wear headsets to record on this, otherwise it picks up the feedback. They're talking about the browser. Browser has holes in it. Well, hey, a lot of us run Chrome. A lot of us run all sorts. I have a lot of them. I have Brave, Chrome, Opera, Valencia. I have a Firefox. I used to have Pale Moon. I don't use it anymore. Pale Moon is mostly I think there was something about them using them. Either there was a whole oh yeah, there was another one called Iron something. Iron. Oh, it's Iron something. It was Chrome, but it was supposed to be faster. But I think they stopped working on it, so they gave up on it. So, but you know, everybody's talking about the ads. Well, a lot of the ads can be blocked on your server or your router. If you had a business router, you can go in there, and or you have a business web filter. You can go in there and block a lot of stuff if you know. Well, you'd have to get the whole list, the block list, to block all the different kind of IP addresses, and that's how you should do it. You shouldn't really, well, yeah, you block it from the router, and you put the IP addresses in there. Let the router filter it out. And it has web. Some of them have built-in web filter in there. If you have a business router, I'm not talking about a toy router, a little plastic thing. I'm talking about a real business router. Go in there. I know some of the cheaper ones that have but they don't have the extra RAM or the extra memory, so you can put all the links to be blocked. Or you can change the NDS, the domain name system, or use a different instead of using the default from Google or whatever your ISP has, and they have they block ads and stuff like that. But it's only so many connections you're allowed to have before um, it won't stop working. And it stop working, then you have to switch. That you set up that in the router as well. Or you can set them up individual PCs if your router doesn't have the capability to change the DNS settings. Yeah, so that's something you should look into. There's a list floating around. There's a block list for YouTube to block all the like if you're a content creator, you don't want people swearing, cursing, sending all kind of weird stuff, bad emojis. You can block all of that. So yeah, you could block emojis too. It's a lot of work. If any of you guys are suffering from sleepy problems, or that's what the Reiki is for. Uh, and coach, I'm doing the dating stuff. When I have time, I'll do it. It shows you how I living. This is I do impressions. Here I released a new song. It's my channel, so I can pull from there. Yeah, I go to Backspace. Actually, Backspace was made differently than these were. You can tell the difference when this plays. I just released it today. I worked on it for a few days. I'm good at making the beats, but the thing is, I wanted clear sound and some other layers. Like you got the professional music layers, this, like that. So that's and then since I have the studio equipment, can really go further. I mean, these songs weren't too bad. I mean, they're okay. This channel is just to show off the music. That's all. And not really not you know. I never see nobody chit chat on these things anyway. On these platform for music. I got the little toggle. That means OCA, official artist. They gave me that. Yay! I don't know if you can have that in the check mark. The check mark you get that when you hit 100,000 subscribers. But this channel, that's not for that though. I was just making the music and putting it out there. Yeah, so this is Backspace. You can listen to it. Now, some of them you can do certain things with them. Those are distributed, and it's very limited. But not this one. It's still experiments. Experiment. Two people watching it. That's pretty good. Okay, good. Change the background too. Okay, so let's get back here. I think there's a delay because I'm running the the capture program is. I don't want that to run. The capture program is sucking up rain. Okay, let's see why. 365. Not being sponsored by nobody. Oh, you got a new version out already. Oh, okay. Did it not download? A lot of stuff go to the second screen. I need. I need. I want 3 screens. I want a processor that can handle more than 64-bit. It would make no sense buying another 32 64-bit system. It would make no sense. Oh, he's selling. Why is duplication? Why is what? Hot launcher? Hide a folder pro. I don't know why this company doesn't get in touch with Microsoft and work together and incorporate the software inside of Windows, because that's what it needs. That and the game booster. You need something to clean up the system. That's if they do that, then the system wouldn't be so sluggish. And that's what I say. Because we all got fast processors. We were told when we were buying our computers, oh, that you got the best processor and it's fast, and all you need is RAM for it, and then you find out the truth. It's still running the same way. And those business computers, just because they're a business computer doesn't mean it's faster. Oh yeah, there's a tool going around. You run it inside Power Tools. and it can remove things. I just want the Edge browser out of the system. I don't want it. I think it's a waste, and it's hosing down the system. Since it's not in there, I don't see no problems. I run it on everything. Now, the other computer in the studio, it, when I ran the tweaks and stuff to make the 11 run better, it was 2.81 gigahertz. Now, quick CPU with the latest update saying it's 3.91. That processor can overclock for some reason. Out of the box, it can be overclocked. That AMD, what's it again? I think it's an A4 accelerated processor for it. It was dual core, but it's clockable inside Windows. It came with software to overclock it. Okay, let's see. This is 66.3. That means all these computers have to have 66.3. My other computer doesn't even run as fast. I think what's going to end up happening, the Snapdragon um, processors that you can buy inside most of the tablets and the cell phones, those are going to end up they're going to have PC, a special kind of PC for that. I think that's the way they're going to be going. I don't think these processors, the Intel and AMD, going to mess around with these processors. I don't think there must be some limitations to the processors, or they can't really do much. I know that the Snapdragon, 64-bit. My phone has 8 cores. It's much faster to do things on there, but it boggles down with memory. Got to keep cleaning out the memory. Every time I do a lot of videos and uploads pretty much every day, and it can bog down the phone. Or or well, I have camera. I can use the cameras, but then I'm limited to 720. I don't have no 1080p. And to record in 4K, and do a lot of editing in 4K, it's a nuisance. It's only when I make music videos, they're all 4K, so they go fast. Been working with Windows for a long time, and back in the DOS days too. And back in the DOS days, everybody wanted more than 640 meg of RAM, and we were able to get up to 700 and something. But you still have the same problem: the sluggish system. System gets overloaded. The server too. Don't think server OS is fast. It can get bogged down as well. What is going on here? Why is it taking so long? Well, this computer has a lot of stuff on there. A lot of stuff. I use their here is it? It's called this. Their program on installer to get rid of something I couldn't get off on this machine. It wouldn't come off, and so I use theirs. But their software is 32-bit, so it's limited. You can't do other things, so it's limited. It's crippled. Okay, it's ready. All right. Oh yeah, don't run Bluetooth. If you're not using Bluetooth, you don't need to have that little Bluetooth down there in the tray. You don't need it on. Turn it off. It messes up your it takes away on your Wi-Fi. Turn it off. You don't need it. Turn off Windows delivery system too. Don't you know? I teach a lot of you how to do things, but it's up to you. As for the browser, well, they're all pretty much run the same. The one that on the Chrome OS is a little different though. Is it faster? Yeah, but it does the same thing they all do. It's have to bog down. Everything bogged down. The Android TV, you gotta clean it. The Google TV won't let me install what's it called? SD Made Pro. I have it installed, but it's SD Made can't access certain things. They get it locked down. It needs to be cleaned out. That Google On thing on TV. Oh my goodness, so much problems with that. The Android TV ones are much better. Sometimes Google Assistant doesn't work. Oh, this is an update. So let me tell you what's happening. So I guess our little friends there at Xfinity Mobile gave me a month or 2 months off. Well, they did owe me $141. I really haven't checked the mail, but I know I didn't have to. I didn't see no bill come in for the service. Boy, they're tight-lipped. Boy, they just be careful with autoplay. Just be careful, you know, because these companies they can take out money. They're not supposed to. They're only supposed to take out the money that you agreed to. They're not. uh, If you send something back, they should not tell you. Keep it. So all what they did is illegal, but the government can't. The government can't do anything. They're a mediary. They can only contact them to get them to contact you, since you can't get a hold of your company that you send money to, which is a shame. Terrible, terrible service. My neighbors who got AT&T fiber, they do not like it. They said the bill is outrageous. Well, what are you gonna do? Go back to Xfinity? And that stuff gets bogged down too. So no matter what you're thinking, and how much do you really need for download speed? But see, even if you get the 300 tier, if you're getting, that's what you're seeing now, 300, 400, what you're getting, and you're paying for 1.2, but you're not getting 1.2 or 1 gig, you're not getting 1 gig, you're not gonna get 1 gig. So should you go back to what you had? Why did you leave? Because you wanted more faster speeds, but then you find out it's not really fast. And a lot of you got gaming computers in the computer. What's the computer doing? It should be just playing games. You should tweak it so run at full speed, keep it cool, and whatever it is you have to do with it, so you can. This thing is so silly. Well, this I had to set to run longer to catch things. Okay, so on the computer, you run Wise Game Booster to clear up the RAM. Run Wise Care 365. What? It depends how you run the computer. Maybe once a week. I don't. I used to run it all the time, but I don't run it since we got SSD. We don't really have to run it so much. You know, that's solid state hard drive, solid state drive. On the Intel, it uses an EMC. So you're gonna run this and the Wise Game Booster. These two are your friends. That you should have them on the machine. Okay, and that will free up stuff and get rid of the clog. I know Microsoft is supposed to have it, but it's buried in the layers, and most of the software is old, and I don't have the time for that. So these two work for me. I'm not getting paid for or promoting them. I'm just telling you what I use. I mean, before them I used something else, but no, there was no support for it, so no sense talking about it. Oh yeah, then there's an OS overlay called Atlas, or that you guys might be running to speed up your Windows, but you don't need that. You could tweak your system like I did. You make your system run further. I don't know why Microsoft put that bloatware stuff. A lot of people say to install Windows in international mode, but are they running it in international mode, or are they just trying to make it look like they're installing it? And I'm not. I'm running the way I need to run the computer. Okay, so But I have everything turned off. I don't want to report back to Microsoft. They don't need to know what crashed. None of them, not even Google. I don't need them to have something calling back home. That opens up a portway and lets them call back anytime. I don't want all of that. I want it. It's tight. Every crash, it crashed. All these companies, hey, can you send back a report if it crashed? No, I don't want to send back a report if it crashed. Oh, this is taking a long time. How long is this? What time is it? Okay. If you're running Windows, it's going to be slow. If you all say, hey, we'll use Linux. Yeah, but Linux has a lot of limitation on Linux. It's a lot of limitation. If it was so good, everybody would be using it. But the learning curve, we're just used to installing, tweaking our systems, doing things. We don't have to mount anything. Yeah, well, now some stuff you have to mount. Clear. So you have a button. Just clean everything up. I get rid of the log files. They take up space, but not necessary to keep. I'm showing you what I run. I'm gonna see if I can run to show you the registry defrag, but that okay, clean. Okay, there's nothing there. Oh, it's already been optimized. Yeah, because what happens is every time you update Windows, it changes the optimizations. This defrag is when you have a regular hard drive. See, this one I'm already running low. This is this one. What I should have did is put the OS on this one, but then again, you can't really put it. I didn't put this as there. Yeah, altogether, what I have over 5, 7. Start a menu. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know if this will shut off or run this. It might. No, I guess not. All right. So this tells you the size of the registry. Right now, it looks good. Only thing that's changed is the user. It'll drop down from 512 kilobytes to 356. 30% drop. These are unchanged. When this number gets to like 2 or 6, then you need to run this. So what will happen is the computer will reboot and it'll compact the registry file. So it's good to run that. That's about it. So that's about it, everybody. That's all's happening. Nothing else is happening. I just gave a rundown of what's happening with Xfinity Mobile. I thought about switching, but I can't switch now. I can't. I'll have to get rid of both services. And then we got AT&T fiber. They dig my yard up, so hey, why don't we just tap into that? Get that system, but I just don't know. I have to talk to some more neighbors that are running it because I want to know. The one neighbor said their internet bill went sky high. Yeah, they're gonna charge you. There's no bargain with them. And they want the auto pay so they can go to your bank and pull out the money if they have something. No, you should have control over the bill. I might have to go back to how I used to control my bills without auto pay. I used to pay my bill monthly, so I would see what would be coming in. I would catch those ridiculous amounts and reject them. Hey, thanks for watching. I gotta shoot another film. Wow, it's really the last day of the month. Tomorrow's the first. Gee, time flies. And it's what, 31 days in December? That means it's gonna be 5 weeks. Wow, that's a lot of time. Hey, if you're new to the channel, say thanks by subscribing, okay? All right, that's about it. Thanks everybody else. We're out of here.